Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Thursday, the 17th day of September. Here we go. Right around now, approximately, people are starting to make their way to the stores to start picking up their esrog and lulav. And I want to say a thought about picking out your esrog. An esrog is called a pre-Eitz hadar, a very beautiful fruit, and you're supposed to choose the most beautiful esrog that you can. What's interesting is that if I told you to go get yourself a beautiful fruit, you might want to come back with a flower. Or, I don't know, a lemon is smoother. It might look more beautiful than an esrog. Where in the fruit esrog do you actually see beauty? I mean, it's a bumpy, yellow uh, thing. And yet the rabbis refer to it as a beautiful fruit, and that needs some explaining. So I want to tell you a very interesting thought about this. Here we go. When people talk about beauty in human beings, that's a fascinating study too, and I want to keep this all tznius and modest and everything. But think about it, when people look for beauty in a human, they will notice things like, I will keep it tznius, so they'll notice things like skin tone being very perfect, or muscles, or a physical build and everything. And that's so interesting because why is that considered beauty? And if you think about it, the geneticists will tell you that people, when they choose a beautiful friend or a spouse, and they're drawn to beauty like skin tone and physical shape and muscle and things like that, what they're really doing is they're picking, at least deep down in their beings, they're noticing genetic traits. And genetic traits, humans are drawn to other humans that have good genetic traits. At least that's what the scientists will tell you. And that's how beauty looks in the eye of, this is not a Torah thought here, this is just what humans do when they look for another beautiful looking human, just talking about the physical look. So scientists will tell you that they're drawn to genetic predispositions, and they would want to have a mate that has good genetic viability. Okay, but that's all science and not Torah. Now let's get to Torah. In an esrog, we're of course not looking for those kinds of things, and the Torah does not stress muscle and skin tone. And we say things like sheker hachein, the hevel hayofu. We don't look at physical beauty. We look for something that's deeper. Now here's where we get to the Torah thought on the matter. An esrog is a pre-Eitz hadar. Now the esrog, you know, is the one fruit. I don't know if there's anyone other fruit on the planet that does this. An esrog can sit on a shelf for years and years and years, and it will not rot. It will shrink. It will not smell bad. It will not get soft. It will not get wormy. That's what an esrog does. So it has great, great viability. It's eternal. It's also called hadar because it's hadar be'ilano. It lives on the tree from year to year to year. You can leave an esrog on a tree for several years and it won't rot or anything like that. Not like an apple, which falls off and only grows during its season. An esrog shows tremendous viability, stays on the tree for a long, long time, and from year to year to year, and never rots and everything. And as a matter of fact, mystically, the word, when God tells us to honor the elderly, it says v'hadarta pnei zaken, you shall give honor to the elderly, and that's that same word that we use for the esrog, the hadar. We even talk about the hadras panim, the beautiful face of a gadol hador, of a great rabbi, who's old, often is old, and wouldn't be considered beautiful by the traits that the Western world is looking at, but we consider it beautiful. And that's because, if you're noticing where this is going, we're looking for eternal beauty. The esrog does represent, it represents that. It represents how we are continuously surviving, that can live on the tree from year to year to year. When you think about what a good young Jewish man does, he hangs up in his room, not the posters that you would see in a Western world room, but you will see old faces of Gedolim. They represent, and that's the real beauty, the eternal viability of the Jewish people, the survivability of our Masorah from generation to generation to generation. If you see where this is going, the Western world is kind of shallow, looks at muscle and skin tone and things like that, and what the Torah does is it looks at the survivability of our Masorah from generation to generation, and the esrog is the symbol of that. And that's why you will see around good Jewish people how there are pictures of Gedolim, saintly, old faces with, yes, wrinkles on them, but that is what we consider beauty because they bespeak, look, he's a 100-year-old man and he's a tzaddik and he learns Torah every minute of his life. That's what we consider beauty, the survivability of our heritage from generation to generation to generation, and the esrog is a symbol of that. Hope that all made sense today. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.